Despite losing the defamation suit against her ex-husband, Amber Heard never stopped talking about the case. In fact, the first thing she did after the verdict was post about it on social media, blaming everyone but herself for the loss by stating, "This is an affront to free speech." What's your take on the fact that the problem is not that we said this was a very important case for freedom of speech when we began covering it on the Long Crime Network, but that it's also important that people do not abuse it? People appear to no longer be interested in hearing her complaints despite the fact that they have referred to a person who may have been the victim, or who the jury now believes to be the victim, are finally calling her out. And by people I mean literally a large number of industry personalities and online influencers. And who knows, this may be more than enough to finally get her fired. What are people saying about Amber, and when will she stop her constant stream of complaints? Let's find out through trial and error. I am certain that everyone is aware of Amber's passion for complain. This trial is a prime example of how she complains about trivial matters and attributes all of her failures to others. The jury has not yet reached a verdict on a case of out-of-control chaos. You believe the jury was immune to that, but how could they not see it? I believe that even the most well-intentioned juror could not have been avoided. People are beginning to call her out because all she did was add a necessary noise, despite the fact that she possesses an unattractive character trait. A complete reversal of her trial testimony, in which she repeatedly stated that she wanted nothing from Johnny Depp, and that all she wanted was to move on and be left alone. Move on with my life, but he won't let me by making statements like this. People believe Megyn Kelly is overly obsessed with her ex-husband. She had also spoken about Amber's statement about the verdict, and she had done so not once, but multiple times. In one instance, she pointed out how Amber had cried wolf after causing this entire mess by complaining about the verdict. When she filed the restraining order against Johnny Depp, she notified TMZ. Savannah Guthrie criticized Amber as well during her appearance on the Today Show, and despite what some have said, Amber was able to spend more time with her family because of the show. Throughout the interview, the host clapped back at her numerous times, for example when she said how savage was this statement. Evidence admissible in a British court, but not in a US court. Do you believe that he just had better attorneys in court? I mean, we all know that one of the reasons Johnny won was because his legal team performed better than Heard's, right? Savannah also. Amber was called out when she attempted to use the First Amendment to justify her complaints about the verdict. This is not only about our right to free speech under the First Amendment, but here's the thing. First Amendment, the initial amendment, safeguards free speech. It does not protect defamatory lies, which was the issue in this case. No, you can't, and this is not the first time. The television host corrected Amber's twisted. In fact, a few CBC anchors interjected Elaine Broadhurst whenever she attempted to discuss the issue. Ascribe the fault to the fact of death. Gayle King questioned Elaine's reasoning when she stated that Johnny's status as an actor helped him a great deal during the trial. I believe it was more significant than that because, as you say, you had the evidence, but they did not. Why do you think that they did not believe her? I believe that a large portion of that was due to Johnny Depp's celebrity status, although she is also a celebrity. However, she is also a celebrity, correct? What kind of logic is it that a number of influencers also joined in and didn't let Amber off the hook? Amber Heard stated that she donated or pledged that amount of money. She received $7 million from Johnny Depp during the first trial. She claims she spent the money on legal fees, which means that she did not give the money to multiple charities, as she claimed. We're all aware of how social media exploded during and after the trial, and many content creators didn't hesitate to capitalize on this. Share how strongly they disagreed with Amber's story, but we're not interested. Merely referring to ordinary influencers, the majority of content creators who have something to say about Amber or lawyers is one of them. Emily Baker, a legal analyst, responded to Amber's assertions that the verdict was a setback for women. Do not believe that this verdict will set people back in the long run. It's a defamation verdict, and if you're telling the truth, this shouldn't set anyone off. Of course, many fans are saying the same thing, but this fan believes Amber should stop saying these things. False claims that, as a woman and a DV survivor, this makes me so happy. Amber must be silenced. She lost for good reason, lied, and made the victims of domestic violence look bad. Made women look bad. No one else did that except her. Therefore, the mainstream media must refute claims that this is a negative development. Johnny received his due after justice had been served. Creditworthiness back in existence. We can only hope that this will be enough to convince her to keep her mouth shut and refrain from saying anything that comes to mind. The subsequent video, and we will see you then.